Okay, let me see if I've got everything going. That capture inputs there. Desktop audio is turned down so people can hear. I just got the email telling me I was live streaming. Live stream is a go. And yes, I'm a little early. Hmm. Looks like I clicked off of this thing while it was loading and now it's being slow. Come on, you can do it. And maybe not. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted, but it's going to be what is. Well, let's take that off. Let's close that window. Let's turn that on. Okay. Well, that was different. I reopened it. It opened on the wrong screen. And it covered up OBS, which is not a good thing. You're out and about early. Yes, I am. And the question of the day, do you have coffee? And you'll be happy to know I just punked myself that I turned around and saw this guy standing here and went, why the heck is he here? No, quite frankly, I'm early because I forgot to schedule the live stream last night like I usually do. Woke up and went, did I do that? No, I didn't. Different is our middle name. Yeah, well, I won't tell you my middle name, but no, it ain't different. dislike my middle name so bad that I asked my mom a few years ago, why in the hell did you give me that middle name? She said, I don't know. I said, that makes two of us. I'm sure I drive her absolutely nuts, but that's all right. No coffee yet. Just woke up. So you're wearing that not human face, huh? I got everybody there, and I can do that. And I gotta say, I think I'm just gonna launch that and let it go. Need to get you a mini Keurig to set at your bedside table. And I'm joking. And I'm going to do something that I did in another game that I went, by golly, I like that. I'm going to do it again. I don't like these steps being here, but you can't remove them because they're attached to the launch platform. My middle name was my mom's best childhood friend. I am named after my mom's dad, and my father had great deals of good things to say about John Muncie, and his middle name is Henry. And I looked at her one day and I said, you gave me his first name. You could have given me his middle name too, you know. And like I said, I'm sure I drive her a little nuts. Oh, it's not going to do it. I had a creative game that I actually filled all this up without a problem, and all I had was just these sticking out. And I thought, oh, that's the cat's pajamas. Try it from this side and see what I get. Nope, 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 nope. Well, phooey. Amp is here sort of no coffee. I just sat down to check my emails. So here, but yucky. Well, and I understand that. And I'm sitting here nursing my third cup of coffee, and I've already been on a short walk and walked the dog and fed the dog and made the boss coffee and, that whole, I'm the morning crew. Amp, it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. It is my plan to be in Sapiens today. We'll see how my voice does through all this because I'm catching a cold. My mom was the eldest of seven. She made them all promise not to use a certain family name. Funny, I understand that. Like I said, I don't mind my grandfather's middle name. I don't like my own, though. It's just like, I don't know, I don't know where you got it from. And like I said, I'm not into sharing that information because I just despise it. However, I got here and the state of Texas makes you put your middle name on your driver's license. Just looked at this woman across the counter and went, uh, we can't leave that off? Nope. I said, okay, whatever throws your skirt in a whirl. I mean, let's see. I got, hmm, oh well. rest your voice, you can play with the mic off if needed or just skip it. Uh, I feel perfectly fine. My throat sounds like absolute hell. I feel like somebody's got a piece of sandpaper in the back of my throat. Um, I might not talk a lot, but you know, I have a heck of a lot of fun doing that. And um, for as much pain as I'm in from one day to the next, to sit and have some just needless, mindless fun with your friends um, is more of a tonic than you realize. What am I doing? Candle lighter fluid and a match. I need one more of those to make everything evenish. Problem was that I'm the second last of 33 cousins, and she didn't use the family name after all. Aunts and uncles, right? Oh, ooh. Yeah, it's funny. My grandfather, who I didn't know, he died before my parents got married, but he told him before he died, he had three strokes in pretty rapid succession. My mom said the first one didn't really affect him much. The second one slowed him down a good bit, but said he still had his brains about him. Said the third one just took him. And yeah, they told him after um, his first stroke, he looked at my mom and dad and said, "You all are going to get married." So I have no doubt in my mind. And it's funny, my dad's sister and my mom worked together, and she met my dad through his sister. And my dad always spoke very highly of John Muncie. He said John Muncie would have made a fine president, that he was just well put together. I have, he was a veteran of the Spanish-American War, and I have some of his correspondence to the precursor of what is now the VA writing about veterans benefits. And I'm lucky that guy had, my handwriting looks like a couple of chickens scratched, stepped up on the paper and scratched it all out. His handwriting, that man had beautiful handwriting. And my dad, when he was younger, had really pretty handwriting. And I took after my mom. My mom has very linked your stream and mine, Andreas's general chat. Well, you didn't have to do that, but thank you very much. Yeah, I look like when I write, looks like hen scratch, and unfortunately, my poor mama is the same way. Yeah, my dad used to sign all the checks because his handwriting was so good, and mama wouldn't do it. Let me see if I've been down here or not. Yes, I have. I miss the days of writing letters. Yes. I've already, have I already found the reactor here, or am I just walking around twiddling my thumbs here? Okay, let's not be so dark. I haven't found the reactor here because that door is not open. And I'm going to walk back in here to this room. And that's just a stinker. Don't go back there again because it's not worth your time. Yeah, I also have copies of my grandfather's Army discharge and where he mustered in. And did you get the vehicle yet, or is it just a pain to make? I have the vehicle. Let me go back and I'll show you. I was heavily into family tree stuff for a few years right before me and my ex-wife divorced. And I get more people writing me about her family than I do about my own. Um, and then my wife got into the family tree stuff. Current wife got into the family tree stuff, and she gets more questions about my family than about hers. It's just crazy. Okay, Miss Revamp, there is the vehicle, and it's sitting there running, and it's got the lights on. Did I press? Yes, I pressed the right key. Could not tell. But it's still running. There's no way to turn it off. When you get up next to it, you'll hear the engine running. But that is the vehicle and how you make it, which isn't, I just started a new game playing the development branch of the new DLC, which is quite interesting. I wish I was filming that. I really do. Man, so much fun. Um, but you get the vehicle way early on, about 50 MTI, and um, you know the the thing that it takes a lot, like this vehicle equipment increase, that takes some time to get, but you'll get this one almost right off. The inventory increase, you'll get this first one almost right off, but then the second one doesn't come along. The one that took the longest to get is vehicle logistics, because that'll let the drones fly up to your vehicle and empty your inventory out of the vehicle while you're driving along. That's a game changer. I mean, you could go load this thing up hard and then, be driving around, do, and it could be doing all the hard work for you. Yes, that is very cool. Let me see if I can keep from thirsting to death. Doesn't seem nearly as expensive as the dumb ATV and subsistence. And you are correct. And in um, like in the infected, the very first thing you get is the ATV. You have to repair it out of what you find in the first house you're standing beside. But I find it hard to drive, even though it has similar controls to this. Um, the camera system in the infected is set up differently, and I want to try to drive with the mouse, and it just doesn't work that way. And you can even, if your vehicle is out there tooling around and you can't get it back, you can bring it back. And that was requested by people in the development branch. These guys are very cognizant of their users, and uh, if enough people comment on it and go, hey, this is not right, um, let me change one bitty thing here. This is the beacon for the vehicle. They've even made it to where you can change the color on the beacon. And I figure red is enough of a contrast for everything else in the world. Didn't realize drones could feed the vehicle in motion. That's amazing. Yeah, they've really done a pretty good job. Um, Hold it. What was that back there? Was that me being a messy patron of the planet? Come on, I know it's there somewhere. Yes, I obviously had inventory issues. And no, I can't drive. And yes, it's very dark. I love that. I think we're doing Planet Crafter on Wolfpack Saturday. If Dras feels like streaming or can get enough people, which shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I have to say that like I said, I enjoy this game because it deals with my physical limitations without a problem. And that's a 500% seed. Yes, it is. Amp. And not only that, where am I going? I don't know whether I showed you that there are seats in the back of this that you can sit down in. Oh, it's going to stand up and wave. No, I didn't want you to stand up and wave. I wanted you to sit down and wave, you dummy. Okay. I've had all the fun I can stand with that. I have to admit, it's a lot easier live streaming when there's people watching and asking questions, and um, I appreciate you guys being here. You all are very good to me, and I appreciate it. Don't have to drive and very granny clamp it. Ah, that's too funny. Guys I was in the military with always used to ask me how bug tussle was and how was Granny and her cold cure. Just don't be messing with Granny. Granny Clampett in space. Well, that's better than pigs in space, I would think. But I don't know. I always thought pigs in space were pretty good too. Every time I go to get out of this thing, it points me in a direction that I don't want to be looking at, and I don't need not a loving bit of that. And I probably don't need any of it. I'm making so much stuff here at the end of game. Okay, come on, back, 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 up, up, up. I figure if I'm talking to it, it might do something for me. Feel like I was kneeling there for a second. And this game doesn't have a crouch function. And I'm looking for genetic traits because I want to send up some animal rockets. I'll take that Lerma. Ain't none there. Oh, forgot to turn the lights on. I'm a bad YouTuber. As Abbott and Costello used to say, I'm a bad boy. Okay. I'm just wondering if I left anything of value in any of these. No, that one's got to go. You thanking me or Amp? And what did I do? Turning the lights on, maybe? I'm crossing my fingers that Sapiens loads correctly and we don't have to restart again. It's getting bothersome. Yes, that I almost played Sapiens this morning. I really don't have a terrible game going on, but it seems to get them to do something or learn something is just a time sink. Um, I considered playing Paper Trail, but I got to admit the the puzzles in that really make me scratch my head. They're not for the faint of heart. And there are days my old brain just doesn't work good again. You know, yeah, that's a stinker. Gonna leave that right there. Did you see Fabio's story on Johnny's stream last weekend? Oh, they're hard, and I will admit I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack. But there's a few that are rough. Yeah, that's what little bit I've played it. That's what I got out of it. What's up, y'all? Just waiting on the school test to be done. Should be about another hour. So I figure I would say hi for a minute while I'm sitting here. I see you're always welcome here. Nope, I did not see it. Let me take you back and show you the Fabio. And she brought it up. I didn't. So it's her fault. All right, come on back to the house. Such a bummer when Sapiens does that. And Icy, we know you're laughing, but we miss the full effect of it when you're not communicating with us. Okay, Amp, this suit right here is spacesuit Fablo. Um, Shaman watching this on her phone thought it said Fabio. And it broke me down. I could just see him flying along with his hair flying out the back of his spacesuit. Uh, and if I thought for one moment I was any good at, I'd I'd redo that to where it would have the hair flying out of the back of his spacesuit. Yeah, yeah. It was. And she said, "Did that say Fabio?" I don't know. Did it? I flew back and looked at it and went, "No, but that's pretty darn funny. I don't care who you are." Oh, that rock looked like a face. One face in your vehicle. You know, it's funny that you said that because the last time we were here and it was, Shaman was in the chat and I was doing some stuff out in a biome that is new. And I said, these rocks look like something off of Easter Island. And she agreed with me, and also that they looked, some of it looked very Egyptian, and the other pieces of it looked very much like it came out of Utah or Colorado. So you're not the only one that's seen it, Amp. And if you're sick and twisted, guilty as charged. I thought the devs were being ironic. Yeah, well, I don't know. If I thought for one moment that I could make that suit and have some hair flowing out of the back of it, I might give it a go. I don't know that I'm that good trying to change other people's code anymore. mean, oh, there's Darlene Miller. Heck, the whole gang's here. I need to make a pot of coffee. I think most of us being from the South or having lived in the South, I think the Debs need to make a family truckster because what in the world good is it if you can't get everybody in the station wagon? I mean, all right, I'm going to go do this just because Amp probably ain't seen it. I'm going to call the vehicle back and kaboom, there it is. Yeah, I mean, what is the sense in having a vehicle if you can't be cussing at the kids in the back seat and go, don't make me stop this rover? All right, I'm going to go back for what I was attempting to do. Yep, which kids have to stay at grandma and grandpa's because mom and dad don't have room for all seven of them. I can't relate to that because it was only me and my brother. Hi, Darlene, how are you? Yeah, now my mom, my dad, there was, including him, five brothers and sisters, and my mom, it was five or six. And my mom's family, all girls, one boy, my Uncle Frank. Load everybody up and go to the drive-in movies. Well, if you're going to load them up and go to the drive-in movies, you got to put about three or four of them in the trunk of that 64 Impala that looks like you could stuff a couple of bodies in it because if you don't, you have to pay through the nose to get everybody in the drive-in. Speaking of drive-ins, um, one of the very first things I ever went and saw at the drive-in, I was, good grief, somewhere between 7 and 9, was Dirty Harry with my dad. And my mom fell asleep, and I had a ball. There's people that would probably say it shouldn't be taken. Oh, I've already done this one too. Yeah, it shouldn't be taking kids to, it was R-rated movies because of the violence, but that was a great flick. Yep, no trunk for the kiddos to hide in. Great minds think alike. Now, darn it, Billy, you're going to have to squeeze up a little more so your sister can get in there. Yeah, we all know. Well, heck, anytime you went to the movies with your mama, she always carried the biggest purse she could find so she could put a couple of Cokes and a candy bar inside of it because if you're buying concessions at the movie, it ain't good. Darlene Miller, I'm sorry that you're in pain. I I can relate. I am in enough pain that I didn't think anybody else needed to be in pain. And uh, I I wouldn't wish my pain on anybody else. No one deserves it. And I'm uh, very sorry that you're in pain. Yeah, getting old ain't for sissies. You got to be tough. Darlene, I believe in you, and I think that you can do it. It's just going to take one step at a time. I don't know what your pain is from or why, but um, don't let what's between your ears uh, let the pain color what's between your ears and the good person that you are. Now let me see what I'm doing. Yeah, I have got to say being in pain has been the least fun of being an adult. I'm, pretty self-assured and do what I want when I want, how I want to most of the time. Um, but I told my acupuncturist on Wednesday, I said if it was up to me, I'd be out wrenching on a car or a motorcycle or something. And I saw a motorcycle last night for $200 that I went, dang, I gave good thought because it's kind of far from my house, that I would have to really work to go get it. But I miss being a mechanic. I really do. Of all the things I did, working on diesels was the nastiest thing I ever did with myself. But I can also say that, um, it was very rewarding. Um, it was a heck of a lot of fun. Um, and it's funny, for as much as I enjoy working on diesels, I've never had a diesel car. Don't know why. All right, I have to go make a thumbnail and get a stream up. Yeah, strengthening. Amp, I always appreciate you coming by to watch what little I do. Uh, you're very good to me. Thank you very much. And then I don't get 5 minutes to myself, maybe. Darlene, you're lucky. I unfortunately roll out of the rack with it every day. However, some days are better than others, and I'm starting to learn more what my triggers are. Um, and, that is a good thing. I've been here too. Well, snickle Fritz. Amp, have a good 5 minutes to yourself. I'll be there most likely. I could probably drive the vehicle down here to where I'm going, but I think I'll just fly. 30-minute drive back to the house for me from his school. Now, I have to say, I'm very lucky that I've fallen in with the gutter gang because, we seem to all have similar physical challenges, and um, that's a blessing. Not that I want anybody else to be in pain, but it's good to know that you don't row the boat alone, so to speak. And that, if anybody is to blame for the mess that is my live streams, it's Amp Andreas, because I probably wouldn't have tried all this. Yeah, it's extremely true, and you know, to feel like you belong to something that can see your point of view is a huge blessing. All right, what am I doing here? Oh, I've been here. That's the hallmarks of my messiness. I'll take that for sure. Darlene, I hope that our small band of misfits can entertain you enough that to get your mind off of it, because I can tell you that's a lot of reason why I do multiplayers with Amp Andreas, because it it just gets my mind someplace else, and that's been wonderful. Now it brings a few problems of its own. No, I can't talk um, because sometimes using my left hand so much is can be a little painful afterwards, but I can usually work it out. Okay. Oh, life is good. Glad that you don't have daily pain. It sucks, but any pain is rough. Yeah, you're doing very good. Well, I'm thankful that what little I can do, that we can do, because it's a group effort. I don't care what anybody says. Um, helps. Our love is a wacky community. Yeah, I love that we support each other. Helps me so much just hanging out with you all. Well, you're committed because you get up at 6 a.m. to roll in here most mornings when it's just me and you chatting, and you're watching me play some sort of stupid game. Uh, you know, so you're definitely committed. Have to make a phone call. See you here in a few, Johnny. I see. Hope you have a good day. Have a safe trip back home, and we'll see you in Sapiens. Looks like we're going down the steps. Oh. It's funny. My throat uh, isn't feeling great, and I'm sure that you all can hear it. Hey, energy multiplier, those are tough to get. Um, I feel wonderful. I couldn't feel any better physically, but all right. I came here looking for genetic traits, and I haven't found a genetic trait yet. Oh, I've gotten off of what I usually do, and that's always follow the left wall. But get that off of that so I don't deconstruct the darn thing. Hmm. Oh, and you're right here by it. And you only need one key. Excellent. Once again, must be living right. Maybe there's bad air quality giving your sinuses trouble. No, it's actually a sore throat. My wife's had it for 3 or 4 days, and it didn't seem to Colds don't seem to affect me as bad as they affect her. Um, so, you know, oh, oh, I gotta take that. Hey, look, molars. It's definitely a possibility. I have less sinus trouble in Texas than I did in South Carolina. Um, South Carolina is a humid mess, you know, every day, all day long. The humidity there would really crank my sinuses up. I take allergy meds every day. But I will say this, cedar fever, if you've never heard of it in Texas, it's when the cedar trees are losing their, um, they pollinate. Oh my gosh, that stuff will wreck you. It's worse than anything I've ever seen. For as much as I would like to take those, and maybe I can. Let's take that and that. Yeah, this ship is a big one. Another dumb shamanism. That wasn't dumb. What are you talking about? Trust me, if you're watching this on a phone, you're far more dedicated than I am. I can't hardly see a phone. Sometimes my eyesight has gotten so bad. And I'm sorry. I think this engine test cell thing is just cool. But I also was around people that use that stuff in real life. I'm halfway to being able to finish this game. Probably going to be sad to see this one run out because I have. Wow. Well, you've got to be a little bit silly to hang around with us. So like I say all the time, I told you I was sick. No, I've about wore my welcome out here. I'm getting ready to find the door or hit F4 and go on about my business. Shaman, you haven't said anything, but can you hear me, my voice well? Yeah, got to be a little bit warped to hang around with us. And I'm sorry. I want them to make that a flyable. I'm just unhappy that that's in the game and isn't usable. Okay, where am I going? Hmm, have I been here before? Maybe. Yep, if I'm dropping iron, I have definitely been here before. Would love to take that, but all right, it's time to leave. Sound is 5 by 5 and consistent. Excellent. Shaman, as I've mentioned before, if you think, well, there's the back side of that whole model, which tells me I'm in the rock somewhere. Yep, sure was. Yeah, when those first came out, they were timed. You got 15 minutes to get through them. And boy, a bunch of people complained. It was not a good thing. Do I have a teleporter out here? Maybe. What is happening there? Glitched? Yes. There's still some glitchiness going on in the game. Um, but plus, um, pressing F4 will let you get out of a situation if you're stuck. Yes, yes, I cheated. Oh, is there more coffee in that cup? Yes, there is. No, this game has always had a problem with some of the rocks would glitch out and let you drop into them. Um, the first time I ever noticed it was this wreck up here on the hill. If you go across the top of that, beside it, you can get into the crater very easily. Well, yeah, I tried it, and I also got in the rock and about died, and you know, let me see. Hmm, pardon my indiscretion hitting my microphone while I was scratching my face. Oh, did I just put them in there? Yes, I did, like a dummy. What in the world? Where did I pick up an eggplant at? Oh, clicked the wrong button. Someone talking about that before didn't know the F4 trick. Yeah, that's been in the game since its inception. These aren't going any place, they're going out. See if there's anything interesting in there. Nope. Nothing that I don't already have a ton of. We're not moving as fast as I would like, but here we are. I'm going to have to make some more explosives at some point. Well, I guess it's fortunate that I'm standing here in front of the water storage. Hmm. I was a dummy watching on phone and not on my TV. Yeah, I find watching on my phone to be, I usually keep my phone and my iPad pretty close together, and if I find it's too small on one, I pick up the other. And I like to watch on TV. I've got a 55 inch in my living room that a lot of times I'll watch on it and get in the chat on my iPad. One bad thing about that, though, is on the iPad, or at least look at all that water. You are rich. Yes, I've got a bunch of it. Um, that on an iPad, you can't click the at symbol in somebody's name in chat and that it'll, yep, I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that. And that's full too. Well, that's lovely. Well, now what? Can lighter fluid in a match. Big Dave! Good grief, we've been graced by Big Dave. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well, sir. Yeah. How are things in the frozen north? They might not be so frozen. I will say I drove through Canada in '87, and that is a beautiful country. I gave up having a TV. One more big thing to haul around. Yeah, and you're not wrong about that. Flat screen TVs are so fragile. I've got a 55-inch one sitting pretty much within arm's reach of me right now that a balmy 20C up here. So 70, 71 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere between 69 and 71. So not cold yet. Well, consider Central Texas. I'm in between Waco and Austin. I never say exactly where I live right out online. It's just not something I do. However, uh, it was 2.5 weeks ago, it was 105 or 106 most days. And now we're down into the 70s or 80s. It got up to 91 yesterday, and that was feeling pretty warm the last walk we had. But that sounds about right in freedom units. Yeah, that is 100% true. Unpopular American opinion. The metric system is far easier to deal with on a daily basis than the imperial system. And you don't realize it until you go to a country that all they have is the metric system. And you have to get stuck into it and being deployed to the Middle East for the better part of a year over a 2-year stretch and got involved with it and learned it and can pretty much do the conversions in my head. Temperature's a little bit different. I know that 21 degrees Celsius is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know that 37 is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, roughly. 0 is freezing. Um, 30 is hot, 20 is nice, 10 is cold, and 0 is ice. That little thing keeps me straight about what's going on as far as metric temperature is concerned. But yeah, as far as if you're measuring something, um, it's a whole lot easier. And if you're really wanting an exact measurement, millimeters is the only way to go. What am I doing besides flapping my yap? Gosh, we're having a banner morning. A bunch of people have stopped in. That's just excellent. Let me do one thing. I'm dismayed that we are having a heat wave this weekend. High 90s for me for the next few days, and my apartment is always a few degrees warmer. Gonna be fun. Yeah. I find that if we start breaking above 100, that um, my air conditioner can't keep up. I have to go out and water the air conditioner to cool the coils down. So it'll, and if I catch it enough before it can't keep up, I can keep it working pretty good. But if I don't catch it and it goes up a couple of degrees, it takes a long time for it to finally straighten itself out. All right, back to gaming. What am I doing? I need a couple more of containers because I'm having storage issues because my inventory is pretty much. Why are you not letting me? I know what it is. Know exactly what it is. It's probably those two things right there, or that being close enough to the wall that it senses it through the wall. Well, foot. Hmm. Since I've got a water over here, and that's by the kitchen, alas, the landlords upstairs control the AC. That means none most of the time. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a sticky situation. Let me. All right, I know it's around here somewhere. No, I will say, admit it freely, that my organizational capabilities are not good. And unfortunately, most of my bases are a kludge. I don't want to open meth. I want to remove blocker and see if I can. Nope. Ooh, whole lots of stuff. Hmm. Well, uh, inventory issues. Because I really want to put storage there, but no, no. Hey, if you know where stuff is, that's all that matters. Well, I do, but I could see people watching might go, what the hell is this man doing? I mean, yeah, I get it. I have never, ever uh, been told that I was squared away and well put together. When I say I have the organizational capabilities of a gnat, I ain't joking. Let me try this again. If I've got, nope, I don't have an iron on me. All right. Let me see if there's something else I can do for 20 minutes or so. If you know where the stuff is, that's all that matters. Well, true, but three. One purple, one blue, one green. I have no green. I used them making rockets. That's 3 pink, 2 blues. What do I need? I need a fusion cell. Because if I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, I know that I've got one of those there. 3 there. 2 of those. Excuse me. Now, let's go down the portal. Didn't bring it. Oh, it's this world. Oh, I didn't bring any. Oh, come on. You got to go back home due to the fact that you didn't bring any flares with you and you need them. I don't know. My mind some days doesn't work so hot. I once saw a shirt that says, I'm mechanically inclined, I screw everything up. And having been a mechanic, I can relate. And there's a part of a ship sticking up right now. Question's going to be, where's the entrance? Well, now I'm stuck. Well, that goes flat into the ground. I'll bet you that that's over here under this hill. Hmm. Okay, maybe not. Ah, didn't come far enough in. That would be heck to wake up and find that big of a boulder sitting in the middle of your bed. Okay, boy, that's good to find right off the bat. I have 1 key. Hopefully that's all I need. Shaman, I was wanting to talk to you about something. I don't know if you know anything about graphic design. How did that even happen? Yeah, ain't it just lucky, I guess. Um, I'm looking to design a logo for said channel because the orange tea just don't do it for me. Because I'm from Tennessee, and that would just make it look like I actually supported the University of Tennessee, whose color is orange. They've never had such a hot football team. No, I'm looking to design something, and I have no design sense at all. I have went and looked up a AI graphics and they want you to pay for it, and I like what I've done. However, and I've got another antecedent how did that happen? Like we say when you're a mechanic and something goes right, must be living right. Yep, the university will not be happy with you using the T. Well, I'm not using UT, of which that's their, and University of Texas is UT, and they're burnt orange, of which they get in a big argument with the University of Tennessee saying it was theirs first. Well, no, it really wasn't. If it hadn't been for Tennessee, there wouldn't be a Texas if you know your U.S. history, because a lot of people that fought in the Alamo were Tennesseans. And that's why Tennessee is known as the volunteer state, because people were volunteering uh, to sign up to support Texas. And Shaman, I addressed that question to you, but if anybody, is good with graphic arts, uh, I can stumble around in it and I know what I want, but I can't make that want happen. Doors. Well, if we find the reactor. Oh, did that fall under the steps? Yes, that did. Dadgummit. Well, when you sign up for a YouTube channel and you go to, if you don't have anything to put in there, YouTube will put a colored letter. You'll see people with different colored letters. I'm usually a proponent of keep it to the left, but I get a feeling. Oh, yeah. Many folks in Ed's radio show are from Tennessee and wear an orange hat with a white T on it. Yeah, you are absolutely true. When I have a computer again, I could go have a go at a logo right now. I'd hand draw something, which I could also do if you'd like. Well, I would like for my roundel, the round portion, to say ACK, you know. And the reason why is a couple of things. For one, the Daily ACK that used to be in Bloom County. For two, from a networking standpoint, ACK means acknowledgement. And if you sit down on a network system and you plug a device in and you're getting an IP address from that system, you have a three-way handshake. It says, okay, I want to give you this address. And then you send back and go, yes, I'll take that address, or I already have my own. And then at the end of it, it sends an acknowledgement and says, okay, you've taken this address, or I've noted you have your own address. It's a networking thing. So that's kind of where I'm trying to go. Would like for it to have a blue background and either the letters in white or black. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to have to take all that. I like that. It's cool. Yeah, it has a meaning to me, a couple of different ways. And from what I know, Berkeley Breathitt, who writes Bloom County or Outlander or whatever he's calling it nowadays, um, doesn't have a copyright on the phrase the daily act. Well, now I'm going around in circles. This is not good. How in the heck? Okay. Come on. All my life, I can't say I'm good at a whole heck of a lot, but I can usually change, something to suit my own taste. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Amp has a graphics program that she uses. Perhaps she could help. Well, and they have helped me so much that I have not broached that with them. Try my darndest not to look a gift horse in the mouth, if that makes any sense. But I just thought of something. I might look through my old CDs and stuff, and I have a considerable bunch, having worked in IT forever, and see if Microsoft Publisher, because I think I've got a copy of it, would actually do something for me. Okay, hate to be cheating, but enough. And yes, that place was big, and I was getting way lost. Oh, come on, you've got more to do. Because the round portion of, that shows on the channel has to be 98 pixels by 98 pixels. And I've also considered making a banner to go along with it when that stuff happens. That can go there. I understand Completely Publisher has some good fonts. I use that at work. Yeah. I When I went to school and got my Microsoft certification, I also had a subscription to TechNet, which is one of those things that now doesn't exist. But um, I got a load of free software for, uh, all that I was doing, and I used a whole bunch of it. And I was also, I can't say that I haven't hacked a program or two in my day because I have. Let's set that to demand, even though I don't have anything set up to build those, and that is a FUSIO in cell. Come on. All right, folks. I think this is where I'm going to end it. I'm at a good stopping point, and that'll give me some time to go procure another cup of coffee and then go get in the Sapiens live stream and help Amp do some testing before that goes live, because I'm sure she would like to see everybody get in there and not have to recreate the world again. I'm not trained at design with pixels, though. One of my goals with a computer. Yeah, I understand that. All right, folks. I'm Dunsky, and we're 32% into being done, and our TTI is 2.46. So we're doing good. All right. Yes, good plan. Every now and then I have a fair thought. Um, Big Dave, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you for looking in on us. I hope your day's going well, and I hope your mom is doing well. Um, keep us posted. Um, if Darlene is still here and can hear me, Darlene, thank you very much for coming here today. I appreciate it. You guys have a choice of where you spend your time doing what you do, and uh, that you guys come and look at me piddle around with a computer is humbling to me, and I appreciate it. All right, I'm off. Have a good one.